Alright, how's it going, everybody? Today I was going to make a quick little video showing you my kite fishing reel setup and how it's all set up. Eventually I think I'm going to make a kite fishing tutorial, sort of how I made that sword fishing one a little while ago, because as you can probably hear, it's still windy as hell and I have not been able to go fishing. Hopefully Sunday I think I might be going out if it lays down a little bit on the ocean. I know there's a sailfish tournament. I think it's the Silver Sailfish Derby, and there's another tournament going on all this weekend. And I feel bad for those guys out there fishing in that, but whatever, that's sail fishing, I guess. So I'm going to show you the reel real quick. All right, so kite fishing can be a little bit complicated, but pretty much in this, I'm just going to be showing my kite reel setup and everything. But once you get used to it, kite fishing's, it gets pretty simple. It's definitely, you got to adjust everything constantly, which some people might find it to be a pain in the ass, but I see it kind of fun and keeps it doing something instead of just sitting around on the boat. But anyway, these are two kite setups, and this is probably the basic kite setup. Everyone, as you can see, they're pretty short rods, but this one is it's just a Penn Senator. What is it? A 113H 4.0. It's the wide version, I believe, and it's just I don't even know what kind of rod this is. It's a blank rod that came with it, which works perfectly fine. And if you're going to be doing it manual, which this is with the reel, you're probably going to want the Penn Senator like this style. You can use any size just as long as it holds enough line on it. And you're going to want this for the lower gear ratio. I've been on some boats with people that brought their own kite fishing reel and everything, and it's a reel with higher gear ratio, which makes it a total pain in the ass to reel in a kite with the low gear. I don't even know if this one says it's high speed, but I mean it's still a fairly slow gear ratio. It doesn't say it anywhere, but I know it's low and it's got pretty good amount of power for just reeling in the kite, which on the windier days it sucks to reel in. So this is pretty much everyone I think starts out with this, but I mean it still works fine. I just don't use it because, as you can see here, we got I was about to say, here I got the Daiwa Tanacom Bull 1000 is the name for it. It's an electric reel, and it's also got a reel handle on it so you can do it manual. And this thing's awesome. It makes kite fishing a lot easier because all you do to reel on the kite is you just push that forward and it reels in pretty fast. So this makes life a lot easier, so just one person can be on the kite instead of having multiple people, especially if you're fishing two kites, which you can do. Isn't all that much harder, yeah, this makes life a lot easier when you're trying to reel in a kite. And on it I have, the orange is some kind of braided line, I'm not sure what. I believe it's an 80-pound test line, and then under that I think I got some monofilament just to fill it up, but you don't need that much braided line. And then the yellow is a 50-pound Power Pro, I believe, which I like using the two different colors because once you see how I'm going to have the Kite Clips set up, it helps you recognize which line's coming out next and everything. But yeah, I usually like the 50-pound line a little bit better. The 80-pound, definitely if you're fishing a little bit heavier wind, you could have the extra security of the line won't snap. But 50 pounds good. The lightest you can go, like the lighter you can go, the better it'll make it easier for the kite to fly and less wind's resistance on the line as it is up in the sky. So that helps and lets the kite fly a lot easier. But then all it is these two kite clips right here. That this thing adjusts how tight it is holding these clips. So all the clip is, camera focuses, it's this clip, you put your line in there and then you just clip it down. It's a little bit tight, but yeah, all that is. And then once a fish bites it or you yank on the line to pull it out, it just pops out like that and your line's free. There's going to be two of them in the sky, and then this snap swivel goes to your kite. And this little piece of monofilament I put on here so that when you're setting out the clips, sometimes they can go up the line. All you do is just, it's a lot easier when the snap swivel's on a kite, but I just clip it onto the monofilament like that. And then say this is up to the kite, so it's like keeps it like that and the clips won't slide up the line, then you just unclip it. And what I'm going to show you, because on this one, for some weird reason, I only have one swivel on the line when you need two, which is on the other side. But I'll show you that once I pull out the line. All right, here's what I'm talking about, the swivel on the line. So once you're finished setting it up, you're gonna have two swivels on the line. So you can see the orange line here goes back to the spool on the reel, and then the yellow line here is going this way, which would be towards the kite and the snap swivel that you're clipped. Here you can see the two, well, you can see one right now, but there's two. There's the two clips right there. So this is gonna be like up in the sky, and then you're gonna have the two clips. So I believe you can, well, I'm pretty sure you can buy this stuff already pre-made, and all you have to do is just tie it onto your kite rod. But I like doing all my own stuff and not buying any pre-made stuff because I know how it's done and that it's done right. So the clips, all of them are pretty much the exact same. The only difference, it might be hard to tell. As you can, it's hard to tell, but it's really hard to tell when showing it here on the camera. But the little circle right here and here is where you put your line through, and the one on the right is a little bit smaller than the one on the left. But it's hard to tell. Other than that, the clips are identical. And this matters because what you're gonna wanna do is when you're putting on the clips, you're gonna wanna put the one with the biggest circle on first, and then the one with the smallest circle on second. Or the one with the smallest circle is gonna be touching the snap swivel that attaches to the kite. So this matters because the snap swivel here is just the right size that it passes through. This is the one with the bigger hole on it. It passes right through it. It's pretty smoothly usually when it's on the kite, but as you can see, it passes over it, and then it slides back down towards the reel side. But then this other one with the smaller hole on it gets caught. You can see it. The swivel won't go through the hole. So this is going to be your first bait that goes out. And I like to have pretty much 50 to 70 feet in between this snap swivel and then off to the kite, and then from the other side towards the reel side another 50 or 70 feet, and then you're going to tie on another swivel. As long as it's the only size that swivel matters is that it's big enough to get caught here so it doesn't keep on sliding through, which I'm going to try and show you now. So I got to go pull. I'm only saying 50 to 70 feet. I have no idea. I'm just guessing that it looks good enough to me. That's mostly how my measurement things go, if it looks all right to me. So I'm going to pull out some line, and then I'll show you what's going to happen. All right, so I pulled out enough line that I thought it looks good enough. I didn't measure it out or anything. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to cut the line in half so we can just tie our swivel in the middle. And alright, so the line's separate. This way it goes off to the reel over here, and this way is going to be towards our kite side. So all you're going to do with this is just tie a swivel. Now you can see it's just a regular swivel that you make sure it won't go through this one, which it doesn't. So the swivel will work. Alright, so yeah, what you're going to want to do is you make sure you put the clip on the side where the kite is going to be attached to. And because if you tie it to the other side, you won't be able to reel in the line. So yeah, just I like putting it through twice, through the eye of the swivel with the braided lines, just to make sure it stays, because the line's a little bit slicker. And then I just use a regular old uni knot, except I do it probably 5 or 6 times through the loop, where normally with monofilament I just do 3 or 4 times, just because the braided line slips sometimes. So that's one side. This side, again, this side goes to the kite, and then now this side goes to the reel, and you're just going to do the same thing again. Alright, so again, you're just gonna clip off the tag ends. And once again, just make sure that the clip won't go over the snap swivel, which it won't. So that's done with that one. And now I figured may as well retie the other side that I had the yellow Power Pro on because it's a new gear. May as well make it a new one. So I'm going to pull out the line for that. And all right, so now we're going to do the second, or I guess it would be the first clip on the line. And all you're going to do is I just got a spool of 50, I guess it's 80-pound Power Pro now that I look at it. But all I do with this, I just went to the tackle shop or whatever and asked them if they had any finished up spools of Power Pro, and this, I mean, there's still like a good amount to keep replacing a kite line, and I got this whole thing for $2. There's probably like, I don't know, there's still a good amount of line left on it, which is all you need for this. So put the smaller snap through it, and all you're gonna do is just tie it on. Just gonna clip off the excess line and you're good to go. So as you can see here, this would be the clip closest to the rod, which we did, that has the bigger hole in it, and it just slides right through the snap swivel like that. This one, because this is the smaller snap swivel, and then this is the one with the smaller hole that doesn't go through, and all you got to do now is measure out another 50 to 70 feet of line and then tie on the snap swivel. So we'll do that. All right, so hopefully I measured out the distance right, and all the distance really matters for is when your baits are hanging up in the sky, it's gonna look like this, pretty much tilted. Kite's gonna angle the baits, and all the distance in between the kite clips matters is just how far apart you want your baits. I like the baits to be a little bit further apart so there isn't any tangles, especially if you hook a fish on. They could run towards the other baits and whatnot, which makes it a pain in the ass, especially if the kite clip doesn't pop. It's really fun reeling a dolphin in from the sky, and that's all the distance in between the kite clips matters. So I just like having enough in between that if something happens, they won't get tangled up. So to end the kite reel, all you're gonna do is just tie on a snap swivel. I like a snap swivel that's a little bit easier to open. Sometimes people like the snap swivels that are impossible to open, which I hate, but I guess that's good for fish. Won't do it. And I'm just gonna do the same uni knot. And that's that. I guess a lot of people that fish tournaments and everything will fish 3 kite clips, and all that is just you got to find another kite clip and another size swivel and just set it up like that. But instead of 2, you're just doing 3. So there's not any different with that, but I don't really fish that many tournaments anymore, so I don't really want to do that. So yeah, that's pretty much how you set up a kite reel. It's pretty easy. You just do it a couple of times. It's a lot easier if you're seeing it yourself, and that way it'll probably be easier for you. But hopefully this helped you out if you had questions about it. So yeah, if you had any questions about what just happened, leave it in a comment and I'll try and help you out with it. Which I'm just bored trying to figure out some kind of fishing videos to make while it's windy as hell and I can't get out offshore fishing. So let me know if you have any ideas like that. I'm open to them. And yeah, thanks for watching.